Today we're continuing to talk about 2 Corinthians 4:16. Therefore, we do not lose heart. And we're talking about the reasons we don't need to lose heart. Yesterday we talked about a reason in the future. Today I want to share a reason about the present that we don't need to lose heart. And we find that in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 17, where the Apostle Paul writes this. He says, "For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all." Did you notice what he called your troubles? He called them light. This kind of sounds like he's calling them easy. Is that what you call your troubles? You know, when you're faced with a situation, a hard one that looks overwhelming, when you're face to face with the same temptation that got the best of you last time, when you're in a situation that's just really troubling, that's light, that's easy, right? No, it's not. And Paul's troubles weren't light and easy either, and yet he calls our troubles light and easy in comparison to something much bigger. In comparison to a promise, a very big promise that we get to live with in the present, that God is using our troubles and our pain to achieve for us a far bigger glory. I have my grandfather could build anything, and he could also take anything apart. If you went into his workshop or into one of his many barns, you saw jar after jar after jar of all the different pieces of things he had taken apart over the course of his life. He saved everything because he believed that every little piece had a purpose, either in the present or maybe down the road. Every piece had a purpose. And God believes the same thing about your life, and in particular, the pain and the troubles that you go through in your life. Your pain always has a purpose. God does not allow any piece of your life to go to waste. There are many different ways that God uses our pain to accomplish something good, but Paul talks about one particular reason in the verse that we read. He uses your pain to keep your focus on the greater glory that is coming. God knows that sometimes our hearts get a little bit too attracted to the comforts and the treasures and the pleasures of this world, and so when he sees that happening, often he will take them away to keep our lives in perspective, so that we are reminded that heaven is our true home and that earth isn't. He will often use our pain in the same way he did in the life of Job, in the life of David, in the life of Joseph, in the life of the Israelites in the wilderness, to redirect our attention back to him, to the God who has prepared for us a great future, to the God who never leaves us in the present, and also the God who did something very significant with the past. And we'll talk about that tomorrow.